Behind the Red Line, Episode 56. Jessie Marie Davis, The Officer, The Woods, The Silence. Ohio, 2007. The dancer who vanished, and the police officer who killed her. In June of 2007, a 26-year-old dancer from Ohio simply stopped answering her phone. Her purse remained in her townhouse. Her 2-year-old son was found wandering alone, calling for mommy. But Jessie Marie Davis wasn't coming home. A community searched. Police made statements. Friends begged for answers. And in the shadows of that investigation stood a man wearing a badge. This is Behind the Red Line, Episode 56. The Officer, The Woods, The Silence. Jessie Marie Davis was not a runaway. She was not unstable. She was not a statistic waiting to happen. She was a dancer, a young mother, 8 months pregnant with her second child. She had a good relationship with her family. She had plans. She was excited to meet her baby. But Jessie also carried a secret, one she kept from almost everyone. The father of her unborn child wasn't her boyfriend. It was a married police officer. Officer Bobby Cutts Jr., her killer. June 13th, 2007. Jessie's mother, Patricia, tried calling. No answer. Again. She drove to Jessie's townhouse. The door was unlocked. Jessie's purse was on the counter. Her keys were inside. Her phone was charging. And in the corner of the home, Jessie's 2-year-old son, alone, trembling, barely old enough to speak, whispering, "Mommy's in the rug." A sentence that haunts every retelling of this case. Thousands of volunteers flooded the area around North Canton, searching woods, fields, rivers. Flyers plastered telephone poles. The story hit national news. A pregnant woman disappeared. No struggle, no fight, just gone. And the whole time, Officer Cutts showed up to search parties, walked beside Jessie's family, pretended to be devastated, pretended to care. He hugged Jessie's mother, looked her in the eyes, and lied. Jessie had met Bobby Cutts years earlier. Their relationship was complicated, secret, and deeply uneven. He was married. She was vulnerable. He was a police officer. She trusted him. He had fathered her first son. And now, he was the father of her unborn daughter. He didn't want the baby. He didn't want the affair exposed. And on the night Jessie vanished, neighbors reported hearing a loud argument. The kind of argument that ends in silence. According to Cutts' later confession, it was an argument that got out of hand. But the truth was darker. He strangled Jessie inside her home, a pregnant woman, 8 months along. He left her toddler alone with the aftermath, just like he had left Jessie. The next morning, he returned with help, and he didn't bury her alone. Enter Maisha Farrell, Cut's old high school friend, drawn into the horror. She helped him dump Jessie's body in a remote wooded area of Summit County. They left her there, in a forest that swallows sound. They cleaned the crime scene. They burned evidence. They rehearsed lies. And the next day, Cutts went to Jessie's mother's house and told her, "I'm sure she'll come home." On June 23rd, 10 days after Jessie vanished, a volunteer searcher found something deep in the woods. A smell, a shape, a blanket of leaves covering a human form. It was Jessie, partially decomposed, still pregnant. A forest full of secrets finally gave one back. Once her body was found, Cutts broke. He confessed, not because he regretted it, but because the evidence was undeniable. He was arrested, charged with murder, unmasked not as an officer, but as a predator hiding behind a badge. The man who was supposed to protect the public was killing women in secret and leaving toddlers next to crime scenes. He received life in prison. Maisha received 2 years for her role, but neither sentence restored the life they stole. Jessie Marie Davis didn't die in the dark because she was reckless, or irresponsible, or naive. She died because she trusted a man who wore a badge, a man who used his authority as a mask, a man who silenced her, then tried to bury the evidence. But the woods remembered, her son remembered, and so do we. This is Behind the Red Line, Episode 56, The Officer, the Woods, the Silence.